Hey everyone, happy Thursday to you. You're watching The Thursday Show. I'm Pastor Chelsea, and I'm so glad you're with us today. Well, today I'm excited because I want to get into a little bit of a tech tutorial, tech update for you all. Because last fall, we introduced as Colonial Woods our new CW app. It's been an awesome resource as of this morning, 922 downloads, which I think is fantastic. But what's amazing about technology is that it's always growing and developing. So for us, just recently as a church, we wanted to add in a new feature to our app that will help connect us as a church a little bit more. Before I get into all of that, if you could like, comment, subscribe to this video or other videos that we create as Colonial Woods, it helps us out a ton and helps other people learn how to deal with these tech updates too. So we appreciate you doing that. Well, for this tech update that I've got you so interested in, it's called messaging. We've added in a messaging feature now to our Colonial Woods app, and I'm really excited about it. Because as our church has grown, especially over the past 2 years with a little bit of the technology shift that's taken place in churches across America, we've really started to dive into creating opportunities where people can connect with us as a church online. That's why I'm the online ministries pastor. We didn't really have that before. And so with our app, it's one of the greatest tools we have to be able to connect with people, whether they come in the building on a Sunday morning or whether they participate online, or even for many in our church family, many of them just go south for the winter. And so we want our church to be able to stay connected no matter where you're at. So we've added in this new messaging feature to be able to do exactly that. Now, this messaging feature allows a lot of different new opportunities for us. It provides a place where we can share prayer requests and scroll through and see other people's prayer needs and pray alongside each other as a church. It provides an opportunity for us, whether it's a Sunday morning or a conference, to send in responses and make it more of an interactive experience during our messages and conferences. And it also just provides a place for people to connect. Maybe you have a quick question or you want to see what's going on at Colonial Woods. You can just drop your question into a messaging thread, and myself or one of our staff or even a fellow church member is available to answer that question that you might have. So there's a lot of opportunities that come with this new feature. And for today, I just wanted to show you how to get it set up. It's really simple, but I know that if you're kind of like me, I'm a visual learner, so I like to see the process and then I feel less overwhelmed by it. So let me show you exactly what to do step by step to start engaging in messaging. Step 1. Well, the first step is if you haven't already downloaded the app, you need to download the app. Just go to your app store, whether you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, and search Colonial Woods. That should bring up our app icon and just download it. Step 2. After your app is downloaded, you can open it up and use it. But if you want to engage in messaging, you'll need to create a profile. In the top left corner of your homepage on your app, there are 3 bars. Tap those, and then you'll see a list pop out. At the very top of the list, it will say log in or sign up. Click that. From there, you're going to create your profile. You have a couple different ways that you can create your login. The Facebook feature no longer works, so don't even try going that route, but using an email or Apple ID or whatever other options your phone provides you, you can create your profile. It's up to you how much information you want to put in. You can keep it super simple, or you can fill out all the details, totally up to you. It'll work either way as long as you set up your profile. Step 3. Now that you have your profile created, all you have to do is go over to the messaging portion of our app. That's located in the top right corner of the homepage. It looks like 2 little conversation bubbles. Just tap on that icon, and from there, it'll load up the messaging portion. You'll see Discover and Conversations. It lists out all the different threads that are available. We have 3 available currently, but we hope to add in more, maybe for Sunday school classes or Bible study groups, as we start to learn how to use this as a church. And so for your very first time, you'll just have to choose which groups you want to join. That just means the groups that you're going to participate in or see the conversation happening in. You can choose from our Awaken Conference thread, prayer requests, or CW General. Each of those groups has a little bit of a different purpose. So prayer requests would be what it says. Prayer requests, a place for you to share prayer requests and pray for the other requests that people have sent in. If you don't feel comfortable sharing your prayer requests, maybe it's more of a private concern, you can always still send in an email message to us through our church website by filling out the contact form. But if it's a prayer request that you would like lots of people to pray over, then why not add it to the prayer request lists? We also have CW General. That's a great thread if you just have a question about an event or a time or a question about Colonial Woods as a whole. There, myself or one of our other staff members will do our best to answer that question. And then the last one, which is the one I really hope you'll join, is our Awaken Conference thread. This is where we're going to be collecting questions that people have for our Awaken Conference. We've been focusing so much on the book of Genesis, and I mean, even though we've taken many weeks to preach on it in our Sunday morning sermons, there still might be questions that you have that we haven't been able to answer. And so simply dropping any questions that you have into this thread, we're going to be collecting these questions and then utilizing them during our conference time through some different Q&A portions. Step 4, message. It might feel a little different since we haven't had this before, but this tool will only be as good as we make it. So don't be afraid to send in your prayer requests or to drop your question for Awaken or your general question about our church. And one final note about using messaging, there might be times where it's not the most convenient to have the notifications of other messages coming in, and we've got you covered there. In the top right corner of every message thread, or of just the messages as a whole, is a little bell icon. If you tap that, you can turn off notifications temporarily or until you decide to turn them back on again. Our hope is to really see this messaging tool take us to new places in communication and connection as a church. And so please sign up, create that profile, and start messaging with us today. A lot of the reason we actually began this whole journey of turning on messaging in our app was for the Awaken Conference. That's coming up March 13th, 14th, and 15th with Dr. Thane Hutch-Uri, and we are so excited about it because this conference is really going to be like the exclamation mark at the end of the In the Beginning series that we've been in. Dr. Uri is going to take a deep dive into the book of Genesis. And so while that might seem like something in our past, what we believe about Genesis shapes everything else that we believe that comes after. And so it's so important for us to have a deep foundation and understanding of what Scripture says. That's why we want to hear what your questions are. And so please, please, please send in the questions that you have. And if you're still struggling with figuring out how to manage the app and the messaging, that's okay. You can even drop your questions right on this episode of the Thursday show, and I'll collect them for you because I'm such a nice gal and make sure that we get your questions answered for that conference. We're just really eager to see what people want to know, and we want to make this conference tailored just for you. Well, I hope that helped answer questions that you have and made the messaging feature a little less scary and a little bit more appealing as we start to use it in new ways to connect us as a church. For next week, I'm really excited. I'm trying to set up an interview with Dr. Thane Hutch-Uri, our speaker for the Awaken Conference, so I'm pretty sure it's going to work out, but don't hold it against me if it falls through. But tune in next week. I hope to deliver that interview for you so you can get a small taste of what it's going to be like at our actual Awaken Conference. Well, that's what I have for you today, friends. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great Thursday and an awesome week. I'll see you next time.